Hello, this is a test, and I'd like to test running a computer game. It's called UFO Enemy Unknown. So mount a... Oops. And in theory, the game should start. Actually, this is a game called UFO Enemy Unknown. I had actually played it back. We bought it in 1990, perhaps 1994 or something. It was a. This is the description of that game. This game is about, as in description, UFOs, unidentified alien objects appearing in the skies, unusual events such as horrific, violent human abductions and experimentations on the people of Earth. Nations of the world gathered together and secretly established a covert, independent body to investigate, combat, and defeat alien invaders. This multinational force was named Extraterrestrial Combat Unit and equipped with the best pilots, soldiers, engineers, scientists, and technology. And this game, let me actually say that basically this game inspired me to search how can I make life a little bit like this game, because I like this strategic game a bit like I like Monopoly. And so when I was searching for that, let me actually just, when I was searching for this game, the closest software that I found to this game was the Odoo, actually, or the open source, open enterprise resource planning software, because it allows to essentially emulate what we do in this game, building bases around the world, managing their finances, and going to missions, and let me show you how this game actually goes. Really, there's elements of economy, of expense management, of action. Let's choose English. And actually, that game had a book, so I have to enter the codes. It's the page 45. So I'll have to do this like this. So once you do that, well, you have the options to choose either to start a new game or load the saved game. Let's start a new game, and I'll go over the game quickly as possible. So you can choose the difficulty level. The difficulty level just determines the frequency of events and severity of events that occur over time. Once you choose the level at which you want to play the game, actually you have to start from, you're presented with this kind of geoscape, which is a really nice feature. It would be nice that we had something like a geoscape on Odoo, so that when we land on our control panel, essentially we see the world, right? And we see the world and our bases in the world. So basically enterprise is maybe many companies around the world, and we choose where to build our first base. Let it be somewhere, maybe in Japan. Let's call it whatever, Yukiya, let's say. And and that, once you start the first base, that starts the timer. The timer is the essential element of the game. It determines, over time, if you let the time speed up the time. You can choose to speed up the time and can slow down the time. Events occur naturally. There is a probability distribution, perhaps, that defines the accidental areas where the aliens actually occur or are found. But before doing that, usually in the game, we can check what we have. What we have is on the top right. Oh, we've got a small alien, actually, the size of... and what we have to do is center on the UFO and then intercept. So this is you use one of the interceptors and try to intercept that alien. Let's try to do that. Well, you could click on it, and you actually your craft captured this alien, and you can choose the modes of attack. Oh no, it ran away. You've got to choose some kind of maybe more aggressive mode of attack, and wow, UFO crash landed. Once the UFO crash lands, you basically have to send something like a crew of people to investigate the site. So let's say I chose the Sky Ranger and click on the site, and I can actually go there. And it says, do you want to begin the mission? And yes, I'll begin the mission. So okay, the mission is to retrieve the remains of the crash landing site. In this case, you can actually arm your operatives, and then there is a number of operatives in this craft, and then you can basically enter this roleplay game. Actually, it's like let's do it a little slower, because so here are your your operatives, and you can with them try to exit from the craft, choose an operative, and then basically explore the location. And then you start exploring it, and once your operative detects an alien movement, let's say, they can engage with that alien. So there's multiple buttons to actually change the ways we view that. But and you have like credits, so to speak, like 22 credits remaining for this round. So you have your own round. This is our round, and the aliens have their own round. So the AI controls the aliens, and once you click that you're finished with your round, instead of just like in Monopoly or like in a Civilization game or whatever, you can click this button to, actually alien had a shot at us, and if we try to see, oh wow, I approached it and there is an alien. Wow, I never seen this kind of, let me do a snapshot on it and maybe I can kill it. No, I could not kill it. I need to use some other soldier. This soldier, unfortunately, is probably on line of sight. Oh no, this is not very good. But maybe other soldier can. Oh wow, that other soldier was able to kind of shoot it down. So and basically your tasks. I mean, you have to try to use up as much as possible of the credits, usually of these stamina, or so to speak, like your role play game role, and then give the AI an opportunity to play, and then that AI is basically, oh, actually we did it. There was just one alien, and we have actually caught it. Alien corpses recovered, alien artifacts recovered, and so alien alloys, and gives you the rating of the actual mission. We click OK. Some people are promoted to sergeants, and so we need to wait until, let's say, craft returns to your base, and then this continues. So imagine that we have projects on some project management system, and we go into missions, like maybe CRM is defining missions for the for the salespeople, and so projects define the missions for engineers, and so on. And actually, you have bases, and so here we just explore the intercepts. And regarding bases, if you click on the bases, you see that you have a balance there. The balance is actually your funds, and you can use those funds to do many things. You can build a new base. So you can choose to build a new base. For example, if I choose to build a base in Central Asia, it says that it will cost $500,000, and you can actually use those funds to. We can click on base information, shows how much workshops, personnel are in the base, and really it plays a little like a Monopoly, where you have to first actually get, let's say, a small house, and then rent it or whatever. A utility, or maybe you have to first, or just get a hotel, and then that hotel generates the passive income. So in case of this game, I found when I was playing the most passive income, what generates is scientists and engineers and soldiers, actually. And soldiers is kind of active income, because you have to always work and go to those missions to generate income, but that is indispensable, because scientists won't have what to work on if you don't retrieve new alien artifacts, and engineers won't want to work on if the scientists won't research those artifacts and so on. So what you have to do is equip those crafts and then build facilities. Actually, build facilities actually is necessary in order to equip more, have more space for. Let's try, for example, do the purchase. You can sell and buy and sell, and actually the positive cash flow is created through selling things. So, for example, if I sell something, like I sell a few, maybe heavy cannon, and something like that, I can get the value of sales 6 times, right? And it will be added to that amount, so the balance is increased. So actually, what is important to start buying is for example, those really scientists, engineers, and start allocating them to research. Since we have actually recovered, there's no enough living space. I need to build a living space in order to equip, or in order to get more stuff. So actually there's build facilities, and you can choose what you want to build. For example, you need to build, in this case, living quarters, because we won't have enough, and you can choose where do you want to put those living quarters. We had living quarters here, and maybe we can just add them here. So it will take 16 days, and then we just recovered an alien, but really need probably an alien containment too. So it's probably should be near laboratory. You can kind of add, and all of those kind of costs. You see already we spent $2 million to actually buy those, to recruit the scientists, engineers, and soldiers, and to add the living space and alien containment equipment. So this takes the kind of resources, and it's kind of important part of the game. Then once you equip the base, or actually what's more important also to do is to start the research. Now we have actually alien alloys, right? So maybe we might start researching them, and we can allocate our 10 scientists that we have on that project, but also we can add a few more projects, like for example laser weapons, and since we have no scientists there, so maybe we should allocate a bit like equally to these two projects. We can start many projects, and that way allocate resources there. Actually, this is important to keep the scientists busy as long as possible, so that they could bring new technologies, which then can use engineers to make real, and then sell them or use them in battles, or not battles really, the missions. So anyways, this is the graphs part, and the graphs part shows actually the whole idea is that XCOM, this is supported by many countries, and the support, okay, so this is a finance, right? So balance and income expenses, so basically basic finance, right? Maintenance, balance, and then if you go to other section, you see all the countries that are supporting this operation. They are periodically giving you money, and depending on your progress reports, they give less or more every quarter, let's say, and or actually more than every month. It's more like, I think, every month. So anyways, you've got something like $6.4 million every month, I guess. This is or some every period, and then you see other statistics like key performance indicators, KPIs. I actually think that it's a bit like a dashboard for KPIs that could be on Odoo. I'm not going through the Odoo screens because they're more detailed, and here is actually game focused, very specific thing, like thumb knobs or what you can modify. And then there's a kind of knowledge base about the aliens and alien life forms. Since we didn't have the alien containment facility at the time when the alien was captured, we did not have any items to look at. But if you look at, for example, weapons, we can see various weapons that are at our disposal, and all those facilities. Everything's a bit documented. What are laboratories, what are workshops, and so on, what are living quarters, and so on. So this UFOpedia, so to speak, is like a Wikipedia of UFO enemy unknown game. Then there is options. Actually, that the options. Okay, so we can just load a saved game or abandoned game, and funding is just summarizing what is the funding. So what basically happens is how do you play this game is, well, you do some changes, and then you speed up the time to look what will happen. You do some changes, and then you speed up the time what will happen. So let's speed up the time. We just made some changes. Well, let's see what will happen. And usually the things that were pre-planned, for example, I actually ordered some new scientists, engineers, and soldiers, operatives. They actually items arrived, and what I do is really then think, oh, I will allocate these resources, and I click, let's say, okay, stop time to 5 seconds, and then go and manage them. So we had new soldiers, so we can equip craft, a crew, and add a few new people in the crew, and we can also choose to add more weapons into that craft, right? So which may be important when they, it's just some, and then we can, we have new scientists. We can click on research and allocate those scientists to one of the projects. Okay, so this is Alien Alloys project going, and then new engineers. I guess we can do much about them, and at this point, and it is actually good to. Also, there's when you craft, you can choose what kind of weapons to give to your interceptors. Yeah, so let's continue and try to speed up the time again and wait what will happen. And usually interesting things happen. So it's some research finalizes, or some new aliens come about. So let's take a look at how is the research going. It says poor. Let's reallocate those all resources to laser weapons, and because laser weapons maybe it's much easier to do than some alien allies appears. Okay, there's a small UFO, and usually what you have to do is intercept them, go to crash site if you are able to recover. And then let's see what will happen next. And I mean, this is repeating. And okay, so I think that this summarizes pretty well what the game is about. You see this craft actually going. You can choose to let it return to base, or even intercept with another one, because let's say this one maybe is not fast enough. And in the future, the game develops and new weapon systems, new craft appears, and yeah, this is gets interesting, because you don't know what will be next. Usually it's like new interesting weapons and new interesting technologies appear, but basically how do you win this game? Well, first you have to win through finance, so you need to be able to sell more weapons and technologies than you actually buy, and then you also need to discover the source or origin of the aliens. And the origin is not on Earth, actually it's on another planet, and in order to do that you have to find the alien leader, a commander. In one of the missions there is a commander, which you can, if you actually retrieve, then you can start getting knowledge about it, and this is like evolving. So basically it's like building this UFOpedia. No, we don't have Wikipedia on Odoo, I guess, but anyways, it's actually, you can transfer equipment from, if you have multiple bases. Okay, let me actually go to options and load one of the older games. This particular UFO Enemy Unknown game, actually, I took from my old, I found it on old computer in countryside of my grandfather, because I played it a lot back in the day, and it's probably before 2005, all those sessions there. So let's see, maybe this one. What do we have here? Okay, we have, you see, multiple bases. Maine, Siberia, AI in North Africa, and those bases have different different kind of numbers of scientists, engineers, and so on. And we have not enough space. What is the psionic laboratory? New kind of facilities occur, and you can we can see we can still research some fusion defense. Wow, 150 scientists working on fusion defense and manufacturing. Actually, engineers are busy with heavy plasma production, because actually heavy plasmas are really good, sell at a really good price, and you can by having engineers work on them have a good return on investment. So if we go to, I guess, sell, no, actually sell, we can choose to sell something like various things. Okay, there's one thing that's Elerium, which engineers cannot make because it's some kind of exotic matter equipment. So basically, this game plays like some kind of sci-fi. If you watched the Stargate, team of people, of soldiers and scientists, and go to missions off-world. And I think that this kind of gameplay is really like like watching that kind of movie. And I liked it because it's also about finance, and also about sci-fi. So it kind of, and when I thought, how I would like to manage the finance, let's say, because I was good at playing this game, I thought, why not to gamify life? And it's like, how could we make maybe? I was thinking like, how can we make this Odoo perhaps more like this game? And I think that it's possible. Of course, we can do these days any kind of apps on Odoo.